Hello everyone, it is story time with Auntie D. Let's start today's book. Today's book is Fancy Nancy, My Family History. The book is written by Jane O'Connor and the cover pictures are by Robin Preyes Glasser and the interior illustrations are by Ted Ennick. Let's start. Do you know about your ancestors? Ancestors are the people in your family who lived long, long ago. You say it like ancestors. Isn't that a great fancy word? We are writing ancestor reports in the class. Bree is writing about her great grandfather. He is 90. He was a war hero. Robert's great grandmother is 100. She came to America on a ship. It almost sank. You are both lucky, I tell my friends. You know your ancestors. All of mine are deceased. Now, what does deceased means? It's a fancy word for dead. That night, my grandpa calls. He's coming to visit us. His parents are my great-grandparents. So I ask, were they famous? Did they have adventures? Grandpa says no. They were nice, ordinary people. Ordinary? That is plain. I wish I had fancy ancestors. Later that night, Grandpa sends a photo of my great-grandfather. Grandpa's email says, my dad was kind and honest. He only lost his temper once. Otherwise, he would never get angry. I broke a teapot and blamed on my sister. My dad wasn't upset about the teapot, but he was upset that I lied. That is what Grandpa's email said. Your dad sounds like a very lovely person, I reply. Now what is reply? Reply is a fancy word for answer. I'm going to write my report about him. I gather facts from Grandpa. My ancestor had 5 children. He was a bank guard. He liked to fish. He lived to be 74. The next day, I illustrate the cover. What is illustrate? Illustrate is a fancy word for making a picture. See, can you see that she drew the picture of her grandpa? Then I start writing my report. It begins, my great-grandpa was a bank guard. That doesn't sound very exciting. So I add something extra. Once he stopped a bunch of bank robbers. Yes, now that sounds very exciting. Next I write, my great-grandpa loved to fish. Then I add some more exciting stuff. One time he caught a shark. The next day, Clara and Yoko both read their reports. I do not mean to brag, but mine is very interesting. After school, I tell my parents, on Friday, I got to read my report. My dad says, great, Grandpa is coming on Thursday. He can go to the school with you. He's so proud that your report is about his dad. Now what happens? I forgot about Grandpa coming. All of a sudden, my tummy feels funny. Why? Can you guys think? I don't think he's allowed to come, I say. My mom looks at me. Of course he can come. Don't you want him to come? Upstairs, I show my report to my mom. I wanted it to be interesting, so I exaggerated. What is exaggerated? Exaggerated is a fancy word for stretching the truth, meaning Not only telling the truth, but adding stuff to it. Honey, mom says, you didn't just exaggerate, you made up stuff. That's lying. Remember, she wrote that great grandpa caught a shark. Did grandpa say that in his email? He didn't. So that was lying, huh? I remember the story about the broken teapot. My ancestors would be very upset with me. My grandpa will be too. By the time grandpa comes, I have written a new report. And this time I stick to plain truth. No exaggeration. I write about teapot. It is an ordinary story, but I really like it. On Friday, grandpa comes to school. He's brought his dad's top hat. It's a real one. Not like the ones in my magic set. My great grandpa loved to get dressed up. I tell everyone, I must get being fancy from him. See, she's also putting on his top hat. These are the fancy words in this book. Oh, the end, the book is over. So let's go over all the words that were in the book. The new words that you guys learned, right? What is an ancestor? People in your family who lived long ago. You say it like, how do you say it? Ancestor. Deceased. What is deceased? Means dead. Exaggerate. What is that? Stretching the truth. Illustrate, which means make a picture. Ordinary means plain. And reply means answer. We did learn something in this book, huh? Did you guys like the story? It's never a good idea to lie or even exaggerate, isn't it? I really like this story. Make sure that you subscribe and like this video, okay? I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.